It all began during a radio interview. A fan asked Alice Cooper, "If you could recommend one modern band to young musicians today, who would it be?" Everyone expected a classic name, maybe Metallica, Foo Fighters, or the Rolling Stones, but Alice paused. Then he smiled and said something that made the host freeze. "There's one band every young musician should listen to right now. I'm not kidding." The room went silent. Alice wasn't being sarcastic this time. He was dead serious. But who was he talking about? And why did this legendary rock rebel believe they carried the torch for real rock and roll? Alice Cooper isn't just a musician. He's a living symbol of rock's wildest era. From fake guillotines to blood-soaked guitars, he turned concerts into theater. So when Alice gives musical advice, people listen. He said, "The problem with today's music is everyone's too safe. But this band, they've got danger. They remind me of what rock used to be, unpredictable, raw, real." Fans began guessing. Was he talking about Greta Van Fleet, the Struts, Måneskin? Alice just smiled. They've got attitude, hooks, and they play like their lives depend on it. He said, "If I were 20 again, I'd want to be in their band." Finally, after days of speculation, the clip surfaced online. Alice Cooper was talking about Måneskin, the Italian glam rock band that took the world by storm after winning Eurovision. Alice said, "They remind me of when rock was dangerous again. Young, sexy, confident. They make mistakes on stage, and that's what makes them alive." He praised their fearless energy and bold style. "They don't care what anyone thinks. That's pure rock." Alice added, "If young musicians want to understand performance, charisma, and energy, they should watch Måneskin. I'm not kidding." Alice Cooper explained his choice in detail. "Most new bands sound like they're following a book. Måneskin doesn't. They just explode." He admired their blend of old-school glam with modern edge, something that reminded him of his early days in the 70s. "They're not copying anyone. They're taking the spirit of rock and doing it their way," he said. Alice said he sees in them what he saw in bands like The Who and The Doors, chaos with purpose. "They've got that hunger, and you can't fake hunger," he said. "If you're young and serious about music, study that hunger." For Alice Cooper, rock has always been more than music. It's rebellion. "When I started, rock was about shocking people, not for attention, but for truth. It was about saying something no one else would." He believes Måneskin has captured that spirit. They don't play it safe. They bring attitude back to stages that forgot what danger looks like. Alice's voice carried excitement. "You don't have to sound like me, or them. Just feel like that. Fearless, unapologetic." To him, Måneskin isn't just a band. Their proof rock is alive. Alice revealed he met the band backstage at a festival. "They came up, all energy and charisma," he said. "They told me they grew up listening to classic rock, and they wanted to bring that feeling back." He was impressed, not just by their style, but their respect for history. They knew about Bowie, Queen, even my stuff. They weren't pretending, they studied it. Alice realized then, this wasn't hype. Måneskin wanted to keep rock alive, not recycle it. That's when I knew they were the real deal. Alice Cooper's advice wasn't just about listening, it was about learning. "If you're a young musician, watch how Måneskin own the stage," he said. "They walk out there like they belong. That's the first lesson." He added, "The second is to play with emotion. Don't hide behind effects or computers. Let your flaws show. That's what makes it human." Alice said the key to greatness isn't perfection, it's personality. Måneskin has personality. That's what young artists need most today. Alice Cooper said he saw a connection between his generation and theirs. "When I see them, I remember the early Alice Cooper group, all chaos, color, and confidence." He admired how they mix glam, punk, and modern pop without losing edge. "They remind me of early Bowie and T-Rex. They knew how to own weirdness." Alice said rock must evolve, not imitate. Måneskin's doing that. They're carrying the torch forward, not just holding it up. Of course, not everyone agreed. Critics called Måneskin too flashy, too commercial, or too young to matter. But Alice laughed it off. They said the same about us, he said. He reminded people that every great band faced backlash before becoming legends. People forget. Rebellion always looks silly until it wins. Alice said young artists shouldn't fear criticism. If you're not making someone angry, you're not making art. Alice believes rock isn't dying. It's evolving. Måneskin proved people still crave real performance, he said. It's not about being perfect. It's about being alive. He compared them to early Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses, raw and reckless. Every few decades, a band comes along that reignites the flame. Right now, that's Måneskin. For Alice, this isn't nostalgia. It's recognition. They're not the next anyone. They're the first them. Alice's favorite thing about Måneskin is their energy. They mess up, laugh, and key while playing. That's the difference between a machine and a musician. He said too many young artists chase technical perfection instead of passion. Måneskin reminds us that music is supposed to move you, not impress you. Alice's advice to new artists: stop polishing, start performing. Alice said Måneskin brought glam rock back into the spotlight, eyeliner, sequins, attitude and all. They're fearless about fashion and identity. That's what made Bowie and I stand out too, he said. He admired how they turned confidence into art. They show that rock isn't just about sound. It's about presence. Alice smiled. They don't need to pretend to be cool. They are cool. Alice said he's proud to see a new generation making rock dangerous again. Rock was never meant to be safe, he said. It's supposed to make people feel something. He called Måneskin the proof that the next generation still believes in guitars. Alice said, "When I see them, I know we didn't waste it. The spirit survived." Alice's message to young musicians is simple. Don't copy me. Don't copy them. Learn what drives them, the hunger, the belief. He said music is about passion, not playlists. If you want to make it, find what makes your heart race. That's your sound. Alice ended with a grin. And maybe, just maybe, rock isn't dead after all. At the end of the interview, Alice leaned back and laughed. I'm not kidding. Listen to Måneskin. Learn from them. They've got that fire. It wasn't an endorsement. It was a warning. Rock's next wave is already here. He smiled one last time. If you're a young musician, take notes, because this is what the future sounds like. And with that, the godfather of shock rock passed the torch. And the message was clear. Rock isn't dead. It just found a new heartbeat.